Hi guys, we're getting ready to do, I decided to try a little collective message today, and I'm just kind of testing out a mixture of some decks here, and we're going to just get a collective message. I'm going to start with what's going on right now. I'm going to get 3 cards for this. 1, 2, and 3. And the Ace of Pentacles, a lot of new beginnings happening. The Ten of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so at the ends of these here, we're going to go ahead and get a couple of these Travelers, Soul Tree, Oracles, or it's kind of like the Major Arcana, but we got Upheaval and Forgiveness. Okay, this has been kind of a message coming in when I did the elements. There is a feeling here of fast, rapid change happening, resistance on the bottom. In a lot of people's journeys right now, around the home, around like years and years of work, years and years of putting time, energy into building something really great for your family, for your community, whatever this is. It's kind of not feeling, because of this upheaval, because of things maybe not turning out the way you've been working, like, and this is not just like, oh, I've been working on this a week and it isn't looking how I want it to look. This is like, I've been working on this forever. Like it feels like almost like a lifetime, you know, maybe lifetimes. It's all kind of hanging in the brink right now with the Wheel of Fortune here on the other side. There's like this new beginning here at the beginning here with this Ace of Pentacles, a chance to really like add on another like level to your community, to your family, whatever this is, to your self-work, changing family patterns, stuff like that. It's the building up and the working on something over a long amount of time that will benefit your children, your children's children. You know, this can be breaking family patterns. This can be breaking cycles. This can be building a actual like established home or a community, something like that. There's definitely this years of building up here, and it's like, oh, there's a chance to add on to this and to put your work towards it, your earthly effort towards this endeavor. And it's like kind of feeling like it's all kind of hanging into this forgiveness energy. Okay, so I feel like there's a lot of past things that need forgiven in order to do this kind of work. It says navigate forgiveness through compassion and self-healing. A lot of healing going on, but this upheaval on this other side, unexpected liberation, destruction of established patterns. I was feeling that, like breaking patterns, really been taking like a lot of time of your life, just breaking patterns, working through things. These can be addictions. These can be abusive patterns. These can be, this can be a multitude of things in the home, in the family, things you grew up with, maybe, and it could even be like stuff that's not even like perceived as bad. It's just was not working, like something you want to add to it, or something that wasn't working for you that you've been working on shifting or changing, or adding your own touch to it. And this could have to do with forgiveness, or how to build something more on an acceptance and an understanding. I am just going to get one of these note cards real quick and see. I feel like there's like a definite line, like right here, like there's a definite like 2 sides. There's definitely like 2 sides to this reading right now. There's just this emotional overwhelm, is what I'm feeling like. And if it has to do with forgiveness, it's like very like you've been waiting for this a long time, like or we have, and then we got that 10 of air. This is that 10 of swords basically, and it's the end of like, put this 10 of pentacles to it, just reminds me, like, sometimes we look back at like our ancestry or our own lives and say, I've been working on the wrong thing, or I've allowed the wrong things in my life, or I've allowed this to happen to me so many times over and over and over again. It's time for me to get up and take myself out of this like victim mentality or this staying down. It's like I'm still alive. Like, as much as I felt like I was at my end, I'm not. This is just the beginning with the Ace of Pentacles here. This is the beginning of changing and turning this energy into something more you can add something to or build something onto. This could be a freedom just from that energy of being held down or being stuck in a feeling like you have to build onto this castle. This has been a message, you guys, with the castle and the fairy tale and the kind of the illusion of what is supposed to make us happy. Trouble with life was that you don't get a chance to practice before doing it for real. And that's by Terry Pratchett. And the next thing is, I refuse to be helpless. I claim my own power. And that's the affirmation. The next quote is, when you feel like you have been hit, dig deep and hit back. Rock bottom is not your end. It is your beginning. And that's what this upheaval and this Ace of Pentacles is kind of telling me, that there has been a rock bottom somewhere. But in it's collective energy. I feel like a lot of relationships are hitting rock bottom. A lot of foundations, false foundations, are hitting rock bottom. A lot of family situations are hitting rock bottom. It's like, enough. I've had enough. I'm living. I'm alive today. I'm not going to keep myself down. I'm not going to keep putting myself through this. There's liberation. There's freedom here from that feeling of having to reach someone else's expectations or make someone else's castle be built. And I get that Emperor energy, that really controlling, rigid, boxed in energy that I feel like collectively we are really trying hard to get out of. And we're right there. But there's also a need to forgive. All the old ways have been there for a reason. They know no better. We don't know no better. Like, years from now, people are going to look back and go, what? They did what they could. They did what they could. And it doesn't mean we always do it to the best we can either. We are human. We have many, many, many flaws. But it's always about trying to think outside the box, to do something different, create something different, plant something different in the world, for everybody else to see, grow, and become a part of. And this can start in your family. It starts in yourself. But then, this beautiful garden, and that's this Empress energy coming in. It's that divine feminine energy coming in, kind of starting to, I've been feeling this for years now, but it's like, it is happening. It's just, I don't know how, we can get impatient and whatever, but that kind of distorted masculine energy is just, and not all of it's been distorted, but a massive amount of it has. And that's just being honest. It's being overridden by this wild nature, this acceptance of whatever grows. I'm not having to control things and keep weeds out of the fence. And kind of, it's like, let's see what happens when we just kind of let things go a little crazy here. But we don't want to let things go completely crazy. But there's always that other radical side to control, that when that energy rebels, or that energy, it's like, okay, how do I put this? It's almost like, so like, the best way I can describe this energy is like if a weed were like cracking cement. And like, once it's cracked it a little, it's like, it's like, I can hear the weed, like I can feel the weed of the plant. I don't even like to call it weed, because that's just our label for something that's in the way. But what is in the way? Is our emotions in the way? Is our spirit in the way? I think that's what's happening, is we're realizing that the things that people have labeled in the way are not in the way, and they're not going to be pushed aside anymore, and they're not going to be contained anymore. It feels very, and it does feel quite, this is why I do this kind of stuff too, is to work with that peace and that calming, so that resentment and that anger doesn't come up from being like held down so long, like it's by ourselves too, but it's by our belief systems, and it's the things we've been taught, and we cannot afford right now as a society, or as a world, as a human species, to turn on each other at this point. I'm not saying it isn't going to happen, but I am saying the best thing we can do is forgive and love and accept and move on and keep growing. The cement's already cracked. The grass is already growing through the cement. And now that there's a bigger crack, and it's going to get bigger and bigger, the cement's, it's damaged, it's destroyed. It's either you're going to have to rip out all the grass that overtakes it. And I think it's getting to a point where it's like, it's almost like too much. It's almost too much for that Emperor energy to contain anymore. It's like, we got to let this out. We got to let this grow, because, I can't afford to put cement on all this. I can't afford to hide all this any longer. I don't have the, I feel like energy, time, any of that. But yet there's also a feeling of like still strongly wanting to keep all this contained, because I feel like this energy, this containment energy, this kind of controlling energy is getting very frustrated that it cannot control people anymore. It cannot control our spirits. It cannot control the light. It cannot control the dark. But I feel like it's more of, to me, that controlling energy is a little dark, even though there may have been a reason for it in the very beginning. I feel like that reason just is no, you got to see what happens here. You got to trust people. You got to trust people's spirits. You got to trust their hearts. It's hard. That's why I feel like there's a lot of people doing this kind of work right now, especially like coming out and doing this work and being called to do the work and to talk to people about this. Because some people are very conscious that this energy exists, and it's happening in like another level of another realm, it's the I guess what people call like the 5D or the 7D, or it's happening behind the scenes, but it manifests, especially can come out like not thought about, not well thought out, not I want to say controlled, as much of a conundrum and a conflicted statement as I just made. It's like we have to know that we don't need to be controlled by an emperor, and he needs to know that energy needs to know that we have control over ourselves, and we recognize how but because of all like kind of ugly things people have been told about people, and just everything, all the stories, all the fairy tales, all the stuff, all the ugliness, there is a lot of proof that people don't know how to handle differences, and don't know how to forgive, and don't know how to accept, and don't know how to when allowed freedom to grow in ways that just are not helpful to the community or to the family or to the bigger picture. That's a message I'm getting. And this affirmation says, I make the decision to get up, and with that, I cannot be stuck face down. It's taking that decision, making that decision to get up, look around, see the truth. See the truth, that you're not stuck down, and you are not stuck as somebody's doormat, anybody's. You have the power to get up, walk away, get up. I mean, a lot of people can get up, and if they do get up after this, I mean, it feels so like I got 10 swords ready that you and you and you and that belief have all stuck in me. But let's not be. Everybody did what they felt was right. And out of fear, too. A lot of people have done so many things that are hurtful out of fear. That's fear of the unknown. Fear of them, their egos being damaged because they're wrong. Because they know they're doing wrong, and they don't want to fess up to it. And they don't want to say, yes, I know that was wrong. I know I shouldn't have made that choice. I know I shouldn't be doing this. They'd rather like double down on it instead of just being like, you know what, I've fucked up. I'm sorry. And I'm going to be a much better person from this time on. A lot of people are not like that. I'm not saying a lot of people aren't like that. Are like that. Like a lot of people will. There is a lot of people that know I've messed up. I've really, really taken this human life into places and it's like now I understand how dark it is, and now I can see when somebody else is there, and you know what, I forgive them, and I don't need to do what they did to me, and I don't need to stoop to their level, and I don't need to double down on the crud. It's like I feel like that's a big message here. I'm getting okay, so we are going to get a this is Call It Baron Reed, and this is the Wisdom of the Oracle. That's what it's called. It's been a while since I used this one too. I just feel like there is a big energy here that is causing a lot of, it's like people are really getting up from that 10 of Swords energy and saying, you know what? You've been gaslighting me. You've been blaming me, shaming me, making me feel like less of a human being than I am. I have more to me than just the human stuff that I've done because I didn't know no better. I have a spirit, I have a soul, and you are hurting it. You're trying. But guess what? I've also been shown that. I've also woke up to that. You have no power. You cannot control the spirit. You can keep me down physically, but you cannot keep me down spiritually. And you can't stop me from rising up and walking on with all 10 of these swords. And I've learned a lot, so I'm saving these swords. I'm saving these swords because I know what they do. I know what they do to people. And I know how they've been used against me. I know how truths have been used against me. The truth. I'm sorry, I lied. Well, you're a freaking liar. Well, you're a freaking, you're, once a liar, always a liar, right? We are liars. Humans are, out of fear usually. You're a thief, always a thief, right? Well, humans are thieves. We are a lot of things, but we can work on not being those things. And when people fail to see that and they keep putting the same messages into us, trying to make us believe that we are not worthy of better treatment than laying on the ground with 10 swords in our back, and that's when our spirits will come out raging, fighting, because just like anything, it doesn't want to die. Spirit does not want to die. Humans don't want to die. No creature, here nor there, or in here, out there, everywhere, wants to die. Nope. It's all about survival, and it's all about survival. Spirit is going to survive this, just as the body survives the 10 of swords. And then we can use our spirit in those bodies that have been damaged. And by body, I mean anything earthly. When people label your body, they label your name. That is an earthly thing. Our names, our bodies are all earthly things. And when we have been labeled and judged by other people that are really no better, it hurts. It keeps us down. It makes us, if we are not aware of how much we are loved and how much good we have in us, and how much strength we have in us to get up and then take our wisdom and our knowledge and keep moving forward and stand up and pull every sword out and just keep the one of truth, which is, guess what? And you don't need all those swords. You don't. You need one. You need one. And that's, hey, I know that this person's hurting. I know that this person's just acting out all their viciousness and their anger and their darkness because they haven't dealt with their stuff. They haven't said they're sorry. They haven't repented for anything. They haven't felt that yet. And you hope, everybody does. And you hope everybody comes to and realizes, yeah, we're all human. You need to stop judging people. That mom with 6 kids from 6 different dads. That freaking whore or slut that was 18 that was strung out on meth or whatever and did whatever with her body and that she is deeply ashamed of. That drug addict that lost 15 years of his kid's life because he was in prison. That murderer, okay? That murderer that murdered his dad or his mom or her dad or mom or her boyfriend because she was beat for 15 years and called a freaking whore and a slut and trash, and she snapped because she didn't know how to handle her spirit. And that's what we're here doing, is learning how to handle our emotions and our spirit so that we can do much, much more mindful things with our energy. That is a very big message, and it came out very, very heavy. This is real stuff, you guys. We got the fates, and I am going to read this, you guys. And on the bottom we got time for a nap. Oh, that was exhausting. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so the fates, and then we're going to go ahead and get one of these. Actually going to go ahead and get one of these. Yeah, I do feel like something just has happened, and it's not in any control of us as people. It's just our spirits and us waking up to how much people have just that energy. Everybody carries emperor energy. Everybody carries that containment and that control, and how we use that really does matter. How we utilize that in our lives matters a lot. Let's go ahead and I'm going to read that fates. It did come out reversed. I think it has a protection message. And then the stranger, the curiosity. Nice. And spirit of the river on the bottom. Interesting. I feel like there is a new energy coming in here that's stranger than the fates. We're used to the fates. We're used to telling ourselves this is destined. This is meant to be. You people are meant to be here, and you people are meant to be here, and this is what we call you, and this is how we put you in a box, and this is how we put you in a box, and this is how we label you. And then there's this another energy coming in. It's like, not where I'm from. Not where I'm from. Where I'm from, magic exists. Not this really formed idea of everything it's mutable, it's flexible. It's magical. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. I am going to read those. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and read the fates and see. It's a number 17, and then 53 is a 7 or an 8, excuse me. And then we got that 10, that ace, that wheel of fortune, upheaval, and forgiveness. There could be some stuff happening in your life that is really reflecting on this bigger energy. And if you think you are not connected to the collective energy just because you don't sit and talk about it or directly can't pinpoint where that feeling's coming from, there is a lot of feelings moving through, that a lot of energy moving through. I don't even want to call it feelings, that we feel a certain way about, I should say. Energy's moving through that we formed a certain feeling about. Just like when somebody gets angry, we feel a certain way. We either feel defensive or we just don't like them because they got angry. And so like understanding and forgiving and accepting that people are all experiencing their own time on this, own point on this, this journey. It's really interesting. Let's see here. The essential meanings is fate, karma, acceptance, that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. Okay, so I'm going to show you this, but yeah, this is the fates card, and it's really saying, yes, accept that this is in this upheaval. I think there's something here that's almost feeling like, oh, I have to accept this. And then there's this stranger energy coming in. It's like, do you? Do you have to accept this? And then it's kind of intriguing you or making you curious to, what it is maybe I don't have to say that this is my destiny and I have the power to change things. But I don't know. I'm going to read a little more, you guys, because I'm getting a lot from this message already. And it's the Serenity Prayer sums up the meaning of this card. And I always say this prayer, you guys. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's beautiful. Say that every night, and the Lord's Prayer too. It's just very comforting, and it just assures you that you can't change everything. We can't change everything. There is a lot of magic and a lot of things in this universe that we absolutely know nothing of, let alone know how to accept, change, figure out. But God knows, Spirit knows. And I feel like that's that co-creative. We're just doing our part. Like, I think Spirit's coming in and asking us to do our part. We can't, and little by little, it becomes a bigger thing. Like more people talk about forgiveness and talk about how important it is to the people that have messed up, to the people that have tried to repent and not just tried. They have. They're sorry. They're sorry. It's like wanting the people that don't accept that they're sorry to be sorry for not accepting others as the human beings they are. They're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. If you think you're perfect, get off my channel. Get off my page. Because you aren't. And that's a really, you're free to stick around. But I guarantee you're just completely going to absolutely hate my messages. Because my messages are not about being better than somebody who has lived in a harder, more rough circumstances than you have, or just maybe they have talked about it. Maybe they've actually told people. Maybe you've done the same stuff and you just haven't said it. Okay? You haven't said, I did do something like that. Oh, I did sleep with that guy that took me to dinner one time. Or I did, pay a hooker to get naked for me, but I'm going to call everybody whores. Or whatever it is. Whatever it is. There's so many dark things people have done. And to not say, you know what? I know you have. But guess what? You don't have to. And you don't have to stay there in that energy where you're hiding the dark places of yourself, because that's going to suck you in and it's going to keep you there and it's going to keep you down. That Ten of Swords, it's realizing you don't have to stay with your face in the ground. You don't have to keep looking at the same things, thinking the same things, and they just keep keeping you down. Get up, look around, and realize there's a lot more to it. And use the sword of truth, and you know what? Try to use the side of the sword that does not hurt. It does not hurt you. It does not hurt someone else. It's just there for your protection. It's there to make it clear to people that you aren't going to tolerate it, that you aren't going to tolerate them taking a stab at your spirit, taking a stab at you. That's freaking, this is some crazy, feel like really upsetting energy. Like I'm upset because I'm getting angry. It's crazy. It makes me upset. The Serenity Prayer sums up the meaning of this card. And I did read that. I said it. Whew. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. That's what I'm talking about. Like the things we went through, like people that want to judge and like throw stones, living in their glass castle, have no idea why we have went through what we went through. And it's so that we can forgive. It's so that we can be more understanding. I wrote this poem. I'm working on my poem book. Like it's been a process. Like I've been writing since I was old enough to talk and write. But it's kept me alive at times in my life. And I prayed, God help me. God, what do I do? And I would just write. That's what you do, Tanya. You write. You sit down and you grab a pen and you write. And you write until you can't write no more. You write down all the darkness. You write down all the light. You write down all your hopes. You write down all your fears. You write down your dreams. You write the confusion. You write the crazy, the chaotic. You just write. Just write. Okay. And it kept me here long enough to do this. Long enough to make it to this point where I have a beautiful family, beautiful kids, beautiful grandkids. And I'm proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself. And some people don't like that. How can you be proud of yourself? How can you be proud of yourself when you've done this and this and this? Don't judge me. Know a fool when you see a fool and just walk away. Don't engage with it. That's what I'm saying. There's a greater purpose here to everybody's failures, okay? And not everybody believes that. Not everybody wants to believe that. People want to believe that if you're a failure, and there's nothing more about it. It stops there. No, that's not how spirit works. That's not how spirit works. It's not how God works. That's not how mercy works. That's not how compassion works. That's not how love works. That's not how any of that works. I can say that with a sound heart and a sound mind. But you can't accept the mystery. It says it may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the Serenity Prayer. This is a relationship message. If this isn't a relationship, or you're feeling like this other energy or this really upheaval in your relationships, any relationships you guys have in your life, it's like, man, just different energies going on right here. I want to show you this card, this upheaval card, and it's like water and fire energy. And there's like the sun and this big wave that's getting ready to take over and just block this sun out. That sun also, to me, represents the masculine energy and then the feminine energy washing. And pretty soon, like that's going to be pretty well seen that there's a lot of feminine, soft, emotional energy that has just been shunned, mistreated, judged, just really not put in, not given its place in the world, and not given the respect it deserves. That emotion, that spirit, the unseen. It deserves its place. This is a time to look at, it says, you can't change them. Other people are who they are. You can't change them. The challenge is to accept them as they are and not try to make them otherwise to suit you. This is it. And this is what I'm talking about this forgiving and accepting. Can't force other people to understand. You just got to let them be. You just got to let them be and let them go through their fates, their stuff. And no matter how hard it feels, you guys, and it does. It feels very hard. This is a time to look at how you attempt to mold people to fit your view of how they should be, so you can remain in the relationship and avoid discomfort. What if who they are and whatever is happening between you and them is this situation, is perfect from the perspective of spirit? Yeah, what if that is meant to be? What if this person is supposed to be exactly who they are, and you're supposed to be exactly who you are for a reason? There is a beautiful balance. You don't want all water. You don't want all fire. You don't want all masculine. You don't want all feminine. You want them both in a perfect balance. And I feel like this is going on, especially in relationships with divine masculine, divine feminine energy, that has been distorted through time. Like even feminine energy been distorted because of all the bitterness and the resentments from men mistreating women, and all the men mistreating women, distorted masculine energy. Just a lot of distortion we're sorting through right now. I feel like as a collective. Now is the time to accept what you cannot change, even if it means that you honor yourself, spirit, and the other person by moving on. Love unconditionally, for each of us is on our own journey, and we cannot direct that of another. Be aware that this relationship is indeed fated, and you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result of it. Everything happens for a reason. Even the cruddy stuff happens for a reason. The protection message is it is difficult to understand why painful things happen to good people. Fate is a mystery, after all. Yet, what we do with our circumstances and the way in which we respond to life's challenges is how we rise up to greet our destiny. Now is one of those times to be aware of your powerlessness to change certain situations and surrender to acceptance. Hang in there. Life will only get better. Act as if you believe that. Not the only thing, or for the only thing you can control right now is your attitude. When you align with the fates, being mindful of what you can and cannot change, serenity will come to you. And I feel like that's this stranger energy. It's like once you accept that you can't change a certain person or mold that controlling emperor energy, and you realize things are just the way they are, and maybe it's meant to be that way. There's this magic that comes in, this another energy that's like, so they finally got the message. Oh, we're getting it. We're starting to understand that we're supposed to allow people to be themselves, and we ain't supposed to try to control them because we hope they make good choices for themselves. Not all of them are going to. Not all of them are going to. Not everybody's going to. There's going to be people still swimming in the dark and pointing fingers at other people that see what have been there. But you got to let things be. You got to let the universe work. This is a very, it's interesting. But I am going to read this stranger, and there is this magic happening here. Curiosity. The other. This could be the other. There definitely is two, like, it's weird. She's controlling, like, the stars, and he's got, like, this magic going on. There's definitely a very different energy here. One with the forgiveness side and one with the upheaval side. And maybe this upheaval is happening so that people can learn more forgiveness. So that forgiveness is a more profound feeling among us people. We're a more understanding of people and their paths and their ancestry. And that Ten of Pentacles is shining out at me. It's like, all this stuff didn't just come from our lifetime. I'm working on stuff that goes way back, way back, way out there, bigger than just right here, right now, in my small time of living here. This is a much bigger picture, you guys. The stranger moves through the world in a shroud of darkness that often elicits fear, rejection, and uncertainty, as the danger of the unknown defines its very presence. Yes, there is a veil of separation between you. Look closer and summon the courage to remain open to what you might find. You may be conditioned to look only for what mirrors what is safe and known to you, refusing to entertain any concept of the other, beyond something to fear. In order to broaden your world and your experience of it, you must refute the illusion that sameness is the only way. Nothing you expect externally matches up with the other. Ooh, that's interesting. And you are challenged by your own inexperience. But don't miss the opportunity for learning. Yes, you can learn from the other, the stranger, the one that is in the dark, the opposite energy, the one that's we don't know a lot about, you know. Something extraordinary is being offered to you now if you remain curious and teachable, open-minded, not boxed in ways of thinking. Even the whole fated idea, it's like, okay, everything's happening for a reason. I get that, but it doesn't mean things don't shift and change. I'm feeling that magic in this card. And we just don't know the big picture. We don't know the whole thing. We don't know. We just don't know. This is a departure from your expectations, but the stranger has come to invite you to dance to a new dance. Oh, I like that though. And this is embracing the darkness in a very accepting and forgiving way. I'm feeling that. But the stranger has come to invite you to dance to the new music, a new tempo, a new sensation that will add more dimension to you and what you create as a result. Now is the time to leave room for other points of view, other ways of seeing with humility and grace. This is a defining moment. Take a risk. Life is like a precious diamond with many facets, not just one. I always get that with the diamond, and I always I don't remember which deck it's in, but it was it's kind of a soul retrieval. I think it's like fragmented soul, or I don't remember which deck it was in, but it's been a long-lasting impression. Back when I first got more decks besides my original, and I started getting into oracles and stuff. I believe it was an oracle deck. But that message came in as as God trying to retrieve all the different parts of himself, and some of them don't, that all of them look different. All of them are doing different things, experiencing different things, for the higher understanding, if that makes sense, for the higher knowing and the coming. And then therefore, the more we know, the more we can bring things together, right? We just don't know when that, it takes forever to make like the perfect, like there is no perfect here right now and where we are, but we can become a part of that perfection by doing our part and doing it the best we can. That's the message I'm getting. All right, so okay, so the very next, I do want to go ahead and get a intuition oracle. This is a very big message, and when I sat down to do a collective message, I didn't realize it was going to be so like passionate and like really like strongly like spirit come in and say, do what you got to do, get up, let others do their thing, and you do yours, and watch and learn. Romantics. I was feeling like when I sat down, it's so interesting. The Uniter. I feel like for people that watch this kind of stuff, like, or are watching this video right now, this is for you. Because I feel like it was weird, because when I sat down, I was actually contemplating doing a love reading. I don't do love readings. But I feel like there's just something more bigger to this love of this earth. And it's all about that energy coming together and really wanting to work together, but it's very different energies trying to understand each other and learn from each other and accept each other in their nature, and forgive both. It's not like one energy doesn't have its faults and the other energy don't have its faults, and everything has its downfalls and its positives and its negatives. But the Uniter, the affirmation for this is, I know love has come to unite me with my beloved. I always feel the beloved is my highest self. I do. I feel the beloved as my spirit. And I know God loves me as is beloved, and you and everybody. But the Uniter, this is that feeling of, and also doing that work here and knowing there is this feeling. I know this. It's like I am trying to bring these two energies together. I have this in my life. I have this stranger, this faded, like weird circumstance life that I've learned so much from. And now it's like, how do I bring this in? How am I forgiven by the stranger? How do I forgive the stranger things that I don't understand? How do I move through this? How do I get up and keep going to try to bring all this together? Like, it's going to be beautiful. That it's just causing an upheaval right now, because there's there's upheaval right now. That's this upheaval. There's just this, it's just a feeling of just not coming together. And then we got the Romantics. Affirmation. I allow romance to touch my heart every day. You may just be really longing for romantic touch and love. I love that. But there is an angel looking over these. This reminds me of the Lover's card and the choice to choose love, choose forgiveness. Add this to this Ten of Pentacles. There's been a lot built here. I feel like with dark and light, or whatever, yin and yang, masculine, feminine, all of that. And it's coming in very strongly and saying, make the choice to understand that everybody's on a different, this is a nice card too. The Forgiver. I knew I was drawn to this. Okay, because they're so similar, that's why. But the Forgiver. I forgive myself and others with compassion for our human frailties. I love that. And then I am going to grab the next one, you guys. I'm just feeling drawn to. And we got another, and it's the Lovers. I knew, it's so weird, because I was feeling like, gosh, I should do a love reading. But then I'm like, Tanya, you just do a collective, because these two energies have been feeling. I've been feeling it as water being feminine, and like that earth energy, and that fire energy being very masculine. But it's just, there's a lot going on here. And then we got the Lovers. I attract love, abundance, success, happiness, and fulfillment. There's a lot of help right now in trying to forgive the stranger things in life, and the things we don't understand, and accepting the things are moving, and we're to stay centered in ourselves and in our heart about what's happening and what's to come. And even if others are not there on the path with you, trust that that's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's That's it too. It's very nice. There is definitely a lot of love here between, I feel like, these two energies, even like there. And that's one thing too. If you ever, and you'll know where you fall on this, but I know, like, I've always been emotional, watery, just really emotional all over the place. But I just loved the idea of having a house, a castle. But I also was a gypsy. I was a free spirit. I didn't want to be contained. But the kind of intriguing, the stranger, the curiosity of being in a place like that, like, I don't know, I didn't, there wasn't a lot of like, we weren't like a sports mom family or a PTA family or anything like that. It wasn't like, it was nothing like that. But I was always kind of intrigued or curious about the other side, the other energy. And I knew it was something different. And it was very earthy, like earthy tribe energy, and not like, like, I knew it was very earth-based stuff, construction. Like, even sports are like earth construction, like things of the earth. Like, and there was like a lot of like, like, it seemed like a lot of people would, and then you could look at the other energy and be like, oh, well, their mom never does anything with them. But, my mom was rocking out in the car with me. My mom was singing music. It's just, there's different ways, different energies, and they just live differently and they behave differently, and they're here for a different purpose. And to understand that and not judge it, and if those purposes don't fit your idea of what somebody should do or should have done or should be, don't fit in your box, to let it be, and be understanding and accepting, and forgive if it has offended you in any way. That is what I'm feeling. So we are going to go ahead and get, I'm going to go ahead and keep out the romantics, since that was the first card out, but then we had the forgiver and the lovers. There is something hanging in this wheel right now about forgiveness. I feel like a lot of forgiveness needs to happen right now for a lot of people. We're going to go ahead and get one of these creativity oracles. It's so neat. One of my favorite readers uses this deck all the time. And I have like, I just got this one and also the intuitive. And I'm just kind of excited to see what comes out. And how I interpret the art and the messages in this deck. She has a wonderful way of speaking about just energies in general, but it's really nice. So I am excited to see what we get. And I kind of wanted to do this as a collective message with these decks, because I did, because to me, a lot of her, look at this, it's another couple card, you guys. Like, it's another couple on here. And it says play. Our work can and should take on the quality of play, for it is play that stimulates creativity. This feels like there is two stuck together, you guys. Whoa. Enchantment. So these two, I've shuffled these, but enchantment. We are enchanted when the muses sing the art spirit into us. That's kind of it too. I feel like there's, and then these are two horses too. On playing, our work can and should take on the quality of play, for it is play that stimulates creativity. We are enchanted when the muses sing the art of spirit into us. The muses, I do feel like this energy is musy, It's like, come on, like, play a little, have a little fun, relax, forgive, move forward, get up. It's trying to inspire us to bring out our most vibrant and creative and our spunky selves is what I'm feeling. And that's really nice. And I think the other one does that. I think the energies do that for each other. Like, I think that earthy or that masculine energy really is intriguing and curious to the feminine energy. And it's like, I want to do that. Like, I can learn to do that. Like, it can inspire you to be more like stable and like put on the earth and like feel like you're really, really more of a part of a place maybe you feel out of. And the same with the other. It's like, I want to know what it's like to be part of that. Like, I'm intrigued by that. Like, but it's just like, but all that, but those rules or that I did doesn't fit into my box, or that doesn't fit into my, like, my sky doesn't have that, and my earth doesn't have that. And like, there's just an interesting energy here, you guys. I can't. And then it's trust on the bottom, you guys. Trust that you were born a creative being and have never stopped being one. It's beautiful. I actually do want to see that image, because this is a new, and it's a peacock with a little girl. There's also a peacock on this one. And this one, I think. Yeah. You may want to look. I can't tell if that's a flower. It almost looked like a peacock from afar, like over here in the corner. But you may want to look up peacock spirit too. I know I'm going to. This is really nice, and it's very intriguing. There's a peacock on this one. This girl's thinking about something. I think she's thinking about engaging with this peacock. There could be a peacock energy coming in. It's weird. I get bird energy. I get bee energy. I get all this collective kind of animal spirit message energy that tells me that that's kind of where, like, the animal spirit that's kind of representing the energies we could be really going through or experiencing right now. And I'm feeling that's peacock right now. Like, that's pretty. And these are peacock feathers, like, colors too. And this is the it's the Enchanted Tarot. Oh, and that's interesting too. Because this is okay, so these are the same artists, authors of the deck, of both these decks that I'm using, the Intuition and the Creative. Oh, and I got another one that I've had for a while, and it is the Wild Goddess, I believe. Yeah, the Wild Goddess Oracle. Speaking of feminine energy, I am going to pull one of these Wild Goddess cards and see kind of what energy is Spirit trying to really say when we're looking at or we're in right now. We definitely got a lot of, like, wanting to come together with something different, a different energy, bringing it together, forgiving, moving forward. The wheel's turning, you guys. We just have to stay centered in ourselves right now and understand others are not exactly where we're at. And if it falls away, it falls away. Let it be. Don't control it. Don't fight it. Just let it be. The truth. You cannot be truthful with another person unless you are first truthful and honest with yourself. The truth is not afraid of questions. Asking yourself those hard questions. Am I being judgmental? Am I accepting this person as they are? Am I, can I forgive? Or is it absolutely, I can't. I'm too much on this, in this energy. I can't, do I even want, whatever it is? You know, you have to be honest with yourself, everybody, with yourself about who you are and what it is you really, 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 really believe in, what it is you really, really feel in your heart and in your soul. And if you feel a certain way about something, then that's the way you feel, and that's your truth. As long as you're being honest with yourself. Is it coming from your soul, or is it coming from your armor and your ego? He is wearing this winged helmet, which tells me and he's shielded. He's guarded. He's defensive. He might be even scared of the truth. There's a feeling here of being on guard to the truth, like not wanting you to hear the truth. And I got that message at the beginning of this reading about a lot of people maybe don't even want to know that, hey, all these people that have been judged or shunned or maybe even locked in institutions as crazy aren't. How's that going to make them feel? So double down, right? Double down. But you have to let people go through their process, and that is the truth. There is I'm feeling very, I feel like this could be a very inspiring message for some that have been struggling with being honest with themselves or other people about their past, or the way they're getting treated now because of it, or coming out of that place where you're kind of staying in the box of something that's very uncomfortable, that Ten of Swords energy. That's what I'm feeling. We're going to go ahead and get here we go. The Journey of Love. These are longer. This one is longer because it's a collective message. So I don't know. I might rewatch this and then just kind of like break it into different parts. But I think it's all like kind of really just one message. But there is a few different parts. I've gotten a few different messages. There is love here. There is a big difference here. There is a need for forgiveness, and there is upheaval happening but it's like, hey, understand this is happening for a reason. Don't interfere with what's happening right now. Just stay with your truth. Stay in your truth. And let things, I got that fall energy, let things be. I'm going to look up that peacock. Trying to think if my other animal spirit books has the peacock in it. I might be able to read it from there, but here we go. Let's see. Oh, God speaks. Oh, we're going to get 2 of these, you guys. God speaks. Yeah, it's like, there's this, I just got this like vision. Okay, so there's this billboard. Like when we go over like this Vidoc in town, and it says, and it has a picture of Jesus. And it says, who do you say I am? It's like, wow. Who do you say I am? Who do you say I am? And Heartfire comes out. Look at that. God speaks to the heart, Heartfire, that passion. It's just, this is interesting. I am going to read this. It's 33 in 1. This is a really nice message, but I feel like I've been being guided and told to come more forward with this energy and really, really speak. There's so much I've kept and held back in these messages, and so much passion and so much emotion that I've held back because I just, you never want to like make people feel uncomfortable. But at this point, it's like, if you don't, there's tons of other people to watch. There's tons of other things you can use your brain for. You can go watch Real Housewives of New York or whatever. Go, whatever it is you do, go ahead and do that. You don't have to be doing this. That's kind of like the message. It's like, it feels a little rebellious, but it also feels like the truth, at least in my path, in my, what I'm supposed to be doing. The divine is speaking to you directly. Underneath the silence, there is the endless music of love. And that music is coming in as I'm reading this too, like the muse. Maybe I'm like a muse type energy, maybe that's kind of like me speaking here, and I'm trying, and I feel like, man, people could be really mean, and I've been treated mean, and I don't want to get treated mean anymore, and I don't want to get bullied, and I don't want to get called names, and I don't want to get judged. And God speaks through the heart, and God speaks through the muses of the world and the universe. And say what you will, but everybody's here for a reason, and maybe this is one of mine. I feel like this is really, and I feel like if you're watching this, you probably have a really profound energy too, that's probably begging to be heard, or wanting to be seen, or needing to be spoke. God speaks, and this is through people's arts, through people's music, through people's poems, through people's passions, everything, everything you're passionate about. That's what God speaks through your heart. What makes you feel good. Within the sacred sound, there is guidance. It may or may not have words. It might be a feeling in your heart that you can only access when you are still, relaxed, dancing, in a yoga practice, or even half asleep. It assures you that behind any struggle or challenge, there is only ever the divine seeking you out, calling you to surrender some fear or doubt some fear or doubt or other, surrender. So you can move closer. The fears, like kind of moving into that curiosity of the other, kind of embracing the other, like maybe stopping and forgiving and accepting and adjusting and actually being able to get closer to it so that you can experience more of the other, so you know where they are coming from. It's like, no, I don't want to know where they're coming from. But it's like, we do want to know why others treat us the way they do. We do want to understand why our truths don't make sense, or their truths don't make sense, or why everybody can't just get along. Like, that's what I'm feeling. This oracle brings you guidance. You are being loved into becoming. Oh, there was another, the beloved. Be open to being shown the divine genius in all that is happening. That's what I feel like this is. There's something happening here. It's causing an upheaval, even in the closest soulmate relationships. Like, I don't even like to use the word soulmate, but like these intricate, masculine, feminine, strong energies that have been trying to come together. And it's just like, hey, God speaks. He's saying, hey, watch. Just sit back. Don't interfere. Know your role. Stay in your lane and watch. And let's see what happens. That's what I'm feeling. And it's kind of, it makes me chuckle because it just feels so, it feels so God. It does. It feels so, it's like, man, why did I have to go through that? And then like later you find out like, oh, I'm way better of a person because I've learned to heal from that or got stronger from that, or now I know how to do this, or, it's crazy. Like the way life works. I love it. Sometimes it doesn't, it's just times like this that kind of makes me chuckle, but there's a lot of times that are just so hard for everybody. And we need to understand that too. Like on a more serious note, there's times when it is so, so hard to accept the way things are. And God is asking you to accept what it is right now. Accept the way things are and be curious about what you haven't seen yet. And be curious about what you don't understand. But don't interfere. That's what I'm feeling. There's a divine genius in all that is happening. If you feel you are being nudged, know you are being nudged by the divine. If you feel you are being held back, know you are being held back by the divine. So if something's telling you no, don't move forward, or don't do this or don't do that, the divine is guiding you. And this is where being honest with yourself, unless it's ego, and even then, it's just, we got to be really, really conscious of what's really holding us where we're at, or moving us where we're going, or what we're moving through. If you feel you are being held back, know that you are being held back by the divine. All is happening perfectly for you, and all will unfold in divine timing. The divine is speaking to you when you are captivated by the beauty of nature or an illogical sense that everything is okay. Listen. And that's the feeling that's been moving through. It's like that bird energy that I've been talking about, where all these birds are migrating. It's like, I gotta leave, like this, like, man, I'm out, like, oh, I feel something coming here. And then it's like, some people are just like, yeah, but you're gonna miss all the crabs wash up. You're gonna miss all the, like, the life that comes to after the storm. Like, there's something here. And I don't know where you're at personally with this bird energy. Like, and to me, I felt it in like a lot of different ways. It was like, part of it was like, I need to get into a different energy. Like, it felt like urgent. It felt like very urgent. But then I was like, no. And it's probably because I do a lot of this self-reflecting and like paying attention to like the deep, like intuitive stuff I get and the messages I get, that just kept me kind of, I did move into a different energy, but I stayed right where I was, in my stance. Like, and that's, but there's also something that did shift through it. I'm not sure what, I've gotten more like determined to say, you know what, do follow your instincts, but don't judge others for flying away, or don't judge others for like sitting at the bay, on the dock of the bay, watching the clouds roll away, like that song. Sitting, who is it? Otis? Is it Otis Redding that sings that song? Beautiful song. Anyway, this is going to be a long video, but when you are captivated by the beauty of nature or an illogical sense that everything is okay, listen. That's the divine talking to you, reassuring you that all is unfolding according to spiritual law. Spiritual law is not our law, you guys. In perfect cooperation with your own destiny. When the first sound was born, the air was filled with fantasy, like the flower's sweet perfume, alive in the moment. There was nothing else, only the energy coursing through my body and the tears on my cheeks. I was carried away on the strings, each note striking a chord within and answering with the emotions of my soul. How priceless the surprise, how powerful the memory to be with the violin when it sings. I love that. Heartfire. I love this. I think we are finally like almost done, guys. But this is really nice. Passion is igniting within you. It is not a time when things will remain still. And I'm feeling that with this wheel. Things are moving. I feel like forgiveness is coming in too for a lot of people. And they're going to be feeling like being more forgiving. And like people are just, I feel like this can really open up a lot of passion and love and connection with people. This is really nice. And not everybody is going to. So, just sit back and try to be open and love and curious about what is coming that we don't understand and we don't see. Even if slow at first, passion will unfold from within your heart, soon to be burning bright like a sun, unrestrained. You are learning how to ride waves of passion. This is a different card I'm reading this for, y'all. But, like, look, this is the Heartfire. This is what I'm reading, okay? This is the image. This is the image it's forming for me. Your sun, the heart burning like the sun on fire, and the passionate, what did I say? Hold on. Burning like bright sun, like the sun, unrestrained. You're learning how to ride the waves of passion. That very fine line between the upheaval. It's like, it's like being right on the edge of that storm, but knowing, hey, this is all happening for a reason. If things or birds or whatever, flying away, we'll let them fly. They got to keep themselves safe. They're sticking with their truth, whether that is guarded or not. That's their experience. That's their thing. So you just got to let things be. Ride it. It says, through eruptions of heat and descent into coolness, bearing the absence of fire, only to realize it is returning to you again. Ride its waves, knowing that passion bliss will always return to a heart that is on fire with love for life. The coolness allows us to experience the heat. Once you realize that fire emerging from within you will ebb and flow, you will trust in its presence. You will realize, and I've had this message in a fire message. It was a collective like fire message, and it was about this fire being the shadow of the fire energy. And it could be that masculine or that is afraid that if it shows passion, whatever, it's going to turn into war or something destructive, because fire's just kind of always, passion's always kind of been, it's the energy behind a lot of things that can be very destructive. But also, without that destruction, we can't see how we could do better. We can't see how we can rebuild better. We can't see, and a lot of times it burns away a lot of things, and it's just like, wow, now it's like there's nothing. But it also makes you appreciate the stuff that when it is there, like what is still there, after the destruction or after it's interesting. You will realize that whether the passion of fire is obvious, drawing you into life, or dwelling quietly within, gaining power from the deepest sources of your being, soon to rise once more. It is a constant in your heart. Accept the fire of your heart and know that this is how you are meant to be, on fire with love for all it is. This oracle brings a message for you. Trust the passion and the fire of your heart to guide your decisions now. What would make you feel most alive? And I feel like there is this forgiveness and this union and this love and this touch and this wonderful thing that I think everybody as humans wants that. They want that. They want that understanding. They want that forgiveness. They want that love. And we do got that, you guys, within. We got that with spirit. But we want another person to be there to experience this with us. We want to feel that. We want to feel that. We want to feel that connection to the other, to the curious, to the stranger. We want balance. That's it. What would make you feel most alive? Choose that. If you are feeling a lack of genuine passion in your life, take comfort that it is awakening in your own heart now, bringing something that has been long in rest back to life. Life unfolds in wondrous ways, and time together fills the days with unexpected gifts beyond our wildest dreams, like open hearts as feelings start to face the longing when we part. Our souls know this is more than what it seems. In gratitude, I offer prayer with thanks for this love so rare, asking guidance on this sweet sojourn. The answers come in tears that flow, emotions raw, and smiles that show. Becoming one is worth the wait until I can return. This is really nice. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that relationship energy too. Let's go ahead and get a couple of these. Anything else? Animal spirits, planets, houses. These can be just about anything and everything, guys. We're going to just get a couple here. Queen of Air. 2 to 4 weeks during the winter, January to February. Fish. The Star, healing. Bodies of water. Healing the fish, sea. Oh, Milky Way, networking, marketing, social media, publicity. Connected and exposure. And then the Owl. Yes. Assertive. Being assertive. Bodies of water. There's these fish. And then this star energy. There is some kind of healing happening here too. There is a detached feeling from emotion here. But then they're just coming together. This connected energy that's here too. And then this owl that says, see through it. See through it. See the facade. See, it's like almost like this Queen of Air is like the Queen of Swords, you guys. And she does have quite a facade. To me, she's almost like she's strong, but it's almost like so fake. I hate to say it. It's like everybody wants love. Everybody wants touched. Everybody wants nurtured. But you know what? This one won't show it. This one will keep doing her duties without blinking an eye. I feel like that kind of energy is being healed. And I feel like this could be like, it's kind of a, could be even it's just that detachment from the truth, the passion that you do want in your life, and the love you do want in your life, and the blending and the balancing you do want. Telling yourself you don't want those things, or you don't want something of the other. You don't want any part of the other. I don't want any part of that. That is shifting and changing, I feel like. Milky Way, the networking. This is all these people coming together on top of this mountain between the sky and the earth. And earlier I was having that message of like, well, that don't belong in my sky. Well, that don't belong on my earth. And it's like, this is all the people in between bringing this together. I feel like we are a network and we are together in this. And then the owl, seeing this is, this was my first spirit animal. And I never understood like why. Now I do, because it's like all the other animals like have this, I don't know, like I didn't even really realize it was like, I just loved owls. I collected owls. I didn't know it was my spirit animal until later, because it's so quiet. It's such a quiet spirit animal. It's you have to feel the owl because it's so stealth. You have to feel it. And until you feel it as your spirit animal and you feel what it's trying to show you about the quietness and the darkness, you do not understand the owl. Like that's the feeling I get. It's about being insightful, and it's very, to me, well, it says observant, and this is observing, watching how this kind of energy kind of comes together here is what I'm feeling. And it says, know what's going on, explore the unknown, the stranger, and be on the bottom, be aware of if there is any arguing, fighting, abusiveness, tenseness, painful, something happening again. This snapping energy, it's a whip. Kinky sex, anger, and repetitive behavior. Watch for it. Watch for it during this time. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying, but there is something here. There could even be like an underlying energy that's just, it feels just like it wants to be very, like fake. I don't know. It feels like, oh, how do I put this? If there is this very, and there is going to be this kind of, but there's something happening here that's just a repetitive, just, oh, okay, so it just cut off for me. But anyway, just be aware of this kind of energy, and if so, just observe it. Observe it. Be wise. Observe this kind of energy, snapping at, and just let it go. Let it be. Let it do its repetitiveness, repeated stuff while you observe and see kind of what's, I feel like there could be a lot of healing happening here. But this fighting and this arguing and this tense energy could definitely come in, and that could be part of this upheaval too. And it's just a battle of just not controlling people, not through any of this, not snapping, not doing something again, thinking it's going to work this time. Like, don't beat a dead horse. It's kind of what I'm coming to. So everybody, that is your reading. I got cut off, so I'm going to have to like clip this in there. But this is a really interesting collective message. I'm interested to see what happens the next couple weeks, month. I don't know. I can't put timing on these. It's just a message. So we will talk to you later. I appreciate your likes, your subscribes, and you coming and watching the video. Have a good day.